sing a lot of his songs.
When I was on the trip to Alto Adige, they didn't tell us that story.
No?
So let's say we have another cheese to try.
Okay. Next one here is called Stelvio. Now, Stelvio is a certain area of Alto Adige, and the cows that graze in this area, they make this cheese with it. It's got a unique aroma and small eyes, not as big as the king of the Dolomites.
That's a great point. The holes are called eyes.
Yeah, we call these eyes, and they have small eyes, and it's very, very rich in flavor.
Thank you. Oh, I can smell the cream in there.
Rich. You know what's special? These are a combination of many small farmers. They might have 7 or 8 cows.
Oh, this is so
And every
creamy.
day they milk the cows twice a day, and they live up in the mountains. So they have to transport the milk down the mountain. So they use the cable cars. And the milk trucks from the factory that makes the cheese waits at the bottom of the mountain for the cable cars to come down with the milk twice a day. And then they make this cheese. It's called Stelvio, but also it has a name, Stilfser, because Stelvio is the Italian way to say it, and Stilfser is the German way. And this is a DOP cheese.
And it has a
Has
symbol.
the seal.
And
this is certified to be an authentic product of the province of Alto Adige in the region of Trentino Alto Adige.
But I think it's really important that people know that when they see these things, they're very important symbols. It's not just,
They're important because this is a way that you can say, I'm buying something authentic but historic.
Yes. And I think the stories are really great. The stories about the food are really important.
You taste the richness, the buttery richness. That's the milk.
It is.
Beautiful.
And you would expect the milk in an area like that, mountainous, very lush, to have a very fragrant, very creamy, very rich milk.
Right.
And it's evident in that cheese.
Now the next cheese we have over here is a cheese called Alta Badia, which is much more denser, a little bit sharper in flavor. And I love to have this cheese with a red wine. Usually this area is famous for their Pinot Nero.
Yes.
The
Pinot
French
Noir.
would say Pinot Noir.
Right.
The Italians say Pinot Nero. And the Germans would say Blauburgunder. Blauburgunder meaning the Pinot Nero.
Doesn't sound at all like Pinot Nero.
Right, but that's what it is. But this here, they do, for me, one of the best. This area, and for Friuli Venezia Giulia, for me, is the best of the Pinot Neros in all of Italy. And I challenge people to try the Italian Pinot Nero. They will absolutely love it. It's
My
really
favorite
fantastic.
wines are Italian wines, bar none, no matter what region we're talking about.
You know what's special about Italian wines? Aside from the diversity that you can find things that are very unique to just Italy, what's special about it is that you can get a really, really good wine at a very reasonable price.
Yes.
And so often, if you want a really good wine, you're going to pay a lot of money for it. But there are some Italian wines that are very costly. But on a general rule, wines of high quality will be sold at a reasonable price. I didn't say cheap.
No, but reasonable price and great value.
Great value for what you're getting.
Right. And I think the other thing to remember about wine prices is small production generally has to call for a higher price just because all those costs have to be absorbed.
If you want something of a uniqueness, you're going to pay a little bit more.
Exactly.
The Alta Badia has a little bit of sharpness to it and goes good with a Pinot Nero. But also, you know what it goes good with? Another white wine from the area. Probably the most well-known. It's called Gewurztramine.
Yes.
Now, Traminer is actually in Italy. People think it's a German wine. But Gewurztra means spicy. Traminer comes from the area of Traminer.
Traminer.
And the Gewurztramine, this wine is extraordinary. It's got enough spice to it that this cheese with a little bit of a bite, the Alta Badia,
very unique. It's got sort of a sharpness about it.
But yet it's still
creamy.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right, now Lou, I want to talk to you a little bit about a dish that I had while I was over in the Alto Adige called a canoodle or a knedderly. Canoodle would be the Germanic influence and knedderly would be the Italian. So I knew that I wanted you to share all of your wonderful knowledge about speck and the cheeses and the wines from the area. So I made this ahead. While this is cooking, what I want to do though is let's just mix this up really quick.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind, maybe move that plate. And I just want to walk through what went into this dish. It was a favorite of all of us on the trip. Everybody really liked it. It was something a little different to us. I think of it as a meatball made with breadcrumbs and speck. So what I want to do is take this day-old bread that we've broken up, and we're going to put it into this bowl. And then we add some speck. And I had sauteed some onions ahead for the one that I have in the pan. But we're going to soak the bread in the milk. And then what I'm going to do is scramble 2 eggs lightly. We'll mix this all together. We'll add some speck. Okay, so give these a nice light scramble. And then we're going to toss this. I'm going to give you a spatula, Lou, if you don't mind. And we'll add the speck. Yeah. We had actually a variety of these while we were over there. Okay. And we're going to put some salt and pepper in there. Not too much salt because the speck has some salt in it already. A little pepper. But what I love about cooking with something like speck is it's so well seasoned.
Right.
That you really don't have to do a lot to it, okay? So that would be our basic mixture, and then you let it sit 15 minutes to 30 minutes or so, and then you just form little meatballs. You can use your ice cream scooper, you could use your hands. I always use my hands. A fun thing to do with kids too, because kids like to get their hands in things. So then, step over here.
Okay.
After that has set and we formed it into the little balls, what I did was I sauteed them in extra virgin olive oil and browned them. And they really look like meatballs, don't they?
They certainly do.
I sauteed some onion, some carrot and celery in the pan, and then I added some chicken stock and white wine to it. And it's a really traditional dish that they serve to us almost every day when we were visiting the Alto Adige, and they had a lot of variation. Depending where you had this, you know, each family or each restaurant has their own take on it.
That's right.
So, do you want to give it a try?
Absolutely.
All right, great.
Looking forward to it.
Let me grab a tasting fork.
So this area is full of a lot of farmers, and this is a real farmhouse dish.
Yes, this is. In fact, there were lots of great dishes over there. The one thing that they really wanted to share with us was the mousse, which was like a porridge.
Right.
You know, and it was amazing to me. I just don't want this to be too hot for you.
All right, we'll try.
Okay. Is it too hot?
Great.
Did you ever have this while you were over there?
Absolutely.
Good. Did I come
And
close?
Very close.
I did my homework. I practiced.
Very close.
I
It's
knew
like
it-
I'm back in Alto Adige.
I said, if Bill was coming, I have to make sure that I've done this before. So anyway,
great.
but it was a great dish. And to me, it's something that we as Americans are not as familiar with. So that's why I thought it would be fun for us to share this with the viewers.
Right.
Now, I think you brought one other special wine that you wanted me to try.
Yes, I think that we should have a toast for Toast Alto Adige Südtirol with something very unique from that area. It's called Moscato Rosa. This is their dessert wine, and it's very unique. It's produced by one of the oldest wineries in all of Italy. It's an old abbey. And this here, when you smell it, you're going to smell the bouquet of roses.
You smell the rose petals.
You smell the rose petals.
Oh, it's wonderful. Mm.
And it even has that flavor.
You know, this has a lot of acidity for something that smells like rose petals.
Yes, but it's intense.
But it's balanced.
It's balanced.
It's wonderful.
But it's intense, but yet it's got that wonderful aroma, and it's a perfect finishing at the end of a meal.
Moscato Rosa. And Moscato is an indigenous grape.
Yes, so this is a clone of the Moscato grape, but it's a red Moscato.
But it's red.
But it comes out, and that's why they call it Rosa, because of the aroma. That
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Aroma and it only grows up there.
Lou, I want to thank you with a toast. It's been a pleasure having you on the show, as always. I hope you'll come back again sometime.
Well, thank you, and I certainly will.
I want to thank the viewers for watching Stress Free Cooking. Please visit my website, stressfreecooking.com, and I hope you'll join me again soon. Cheers.
Stress-Free Cooking is brought to you by... From the sunny Mediterranean comes one of the world's finest olive oils for all your cooking needs. Pompeian extra virgin olive oil, classic Mediterranean, and extra light tasting. Pompeian makes everything better. From our table to yours, O-Pee-Chee Wines, fine wines and spirits from around the world since 1913. Cutco, the world's finest cutlery. Melissa's, the freshest ideas in produce. And Sub-Zero Wolf Appliances. Enjoy Barbara Selig Brown's cookbook as she shows you how to make stress-free dishes in the comfort of your own home. Offer made by Stress Free Cooking for $19.95.